Happy Wednesday, guys. Today we are going to start a chapter book for our read aloud. The chapter book we're going to read is Ghostville Elementary, Ghost Class by Marsha Thornton Jones and Debbie Deadly. It's by the people who do the Bailey Schoolhouse Kids. So we're going to start. Chapter 1, Zombies. "What is taking her so long?" Cassidy whispered to her friends, Jeff and Nina. The three kids leaned against the picture windowsill and watched as their principal, Mrs. Finkel, turned a rusty key in the basement door of Sleepy Hollow Elementary School. "I can't believe she's making us go down there," Nina whispered. "It's awful." Mrs. Finkel smiled a mysterious smile and pointed a dagger-like fingernail into the darkness. "There you go," she said, as the door creaked open. Misty air crept around the third grader's ankles. "It smells like a wet dog," Cassidy said, wrinkling up her nose. "You'd smell like that, too, if you've been shut up for over 100 years, Jeff nodded. Then, with a laugh, he added, "Come to think of it, you and Nina do smell like you've been shut up for 100 years. Nina tossed back her long black hair and stuck her tongue at Jeff, but Cassidy was used to Jeff's smart aleck remarks. They'd lived next door to each other since they were 3. "Ignore Jeff," Cassidy told Nina. "We might as well make the best of it. It's not like we have a choice. Your new classroom is just down those stairs," Mrs. Finkel told the class. Mrs. Morton, their third-grade teacher, smiled nervously as the students. "Come on, class," she said. "Let's begin our great adventure together." Nina shuddered as Mr. Morton led the class through the doorway and down the dimly lit steps. She knew the school was overcrowded. There were too many kids and not enough classrooms. The principal's solution was to set up a classroom in the basement. Nina understood, but why did her class have to be the one unlucky enough to get moved? Nina was afraid of anything when it came to sports, but she was a regular chicken about things like ghosts, spiders, scary movies, and dark basements. She looked around. Nobody seemed very happy, not even Mr. Morton. The basement steps creaked and groaned beneath the weight of the kids and their teacher. A single light bulb barely lit the rugged red brick walls and wooden steps. Mr. Morton waved a dictionary in front of him, batting the cobwebs as he went down the steps. "Don't worry," he told the students. "The janitor will get this cleaned up for us in no time." Someone should warn Mr. Morton about the basement of Sleepy Hollow Elementary. "It's haunted," Nina whispered. Cassidy Nina had never really believed the crazy ghost stories that floated around the school, but she figured if any place was haunted, this would be it. Kids called the elementary school Ghostville Elementary for a reason. As soon as the words were out of Nina's mouth, the light bulb went dead. The kids were plagued in total darkness. For a second, there was silence, and then every kid on the steps screamed. "Stay where you are," Mr. Morton yelled, "and please keep quiet." Nina grabbed Cassidy's arm and didn't breathe. Suddenly, she felt 2 cold hands clamp down on her shoulders. When Mr. Morton got the light back on, she saw Jeff was smiling at her. "Did a ghost get you?" he asked. "That wasn't very funny," Nina told him. Even though she and Jeff had been friends for a while, he still liked to tease her. "You guys don't really believe those old ghost stories, do you?" Jeff asked. He hopped from foot to foot, anxious to get going. Cassidy shrugged. He had never actually met a ghost, but that didn't mean they didn't exist. "This reminds me of a horror movie I saw on TV. Jeff told Cassidy and Nina once that the line started moving again. At the bottom of the steps, a zombie jumps out and grabs this girl. Nina groaned. Cassidy frowned, and the basement was creepy enough. They didn't need Jeff and the scary movie fan to make it worse. "Be quiet, Jeff," Cassidy said, "and quit tickling my neck." "I'm not touching you," Jeff said. Cassidy spun around on the bottom of the steps. Jeff was behind her, but he had one hand on the damp stairwell and one other wrapped around his backpack. The next time someone touched her neck, Cassidy ignored it. She knew it had to be Jeff. In the hall at the bottom of the steps, Cassidy felt a cold draft. It felt like it passed right through her body. That's when Nina screamed. We'll stop there. And that's the end of chapter 1.